Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am going to tell you a story about a wise king. So let's begin. So once upon a time there was a wise king who lived in a far away village, and in that village there were lots and lots of people who loved the king because the king was wise. Even though he was old, he was very wise. He did not had any enemy countries or any enemy villages. He had a beautiful kingdom. He had such a beautiful kingdom that other kingdoms took inspiration from his kingdom and made their kingdoms as beautiful as his. But his kingdom is the original beautiful kingdom, and his kingdom was the one which was given the Guinness World Record of the most beautiful kingdom in the world. So the king was very happy with his kingdom, even though he was old and he knew his time will come. So he needed someone to take his heritage and make the kingdom as good as he did and even make it better than he did. So he wanted to find a wise man to take his heritage and also take all of his wealth after he passes away, because he did not marry anyone and he did not had any children, and he wanted a wise man, a very wise man, as wise as he can be. So for this reason the king hosted a competition among his people. He wanted to find the wisest man alive, so he hosted a competition about the wisest man and or woman. Anyone can inherit his wealth. So the king, being the king, he got a lot of seeds, a lot of plant seeds. Some were jackfruit seeds, some were mango seeds, and many fruit seeds, many fruit seeds. And so as he got those seeds, he boiled them one by one, and as he boiled all of those seeds, he made sure that none of the seeds were not boiled, and as he made sure of that, he gave all of his people of his kingdom some of the seeds. He gave some people one seed, some people two seeds, and gave them the seeds. And the king told his people that whoever has the most beautiful tree or the plant, at the end of these 6 months, the next 6 months, they will inherit his wealth and his heritage. So the king was quite happy knowing about his own trick, and no other people in the entire area did not know, or in the entire kingdom did not know about his plan. Even his own people, even his own minister did not know about this plan. So the king, he looked around every day. He saw that people had beautiful trees everywhere. The trees were growing very beautifully, even though he knew about his trick and he knew who to give his heritage to. So as the people were getting very excited about the next 6 months, because most of the people had very beautiful trees, plants, and some of them even had some fruits. So the king, being the wise one, he looked at every single one of them and pretended that they were very beautiful, and he even hired some people to look at those trees and judge them one by one for days and days until all of the trees were gone, and he can finally select a person to help or to hold his heritage. So after all of this, at the end, when the 6 months ended, and he told all of his people to come to his castle and stand up one by one in a line. He divided them in 5 different lines, and each of them were about different trees. Some of them were fruit trees, some of them were flower trees, and whoever had the most beautiful plant will get his heritage, as I said before. So there was only one boy who did not had any plant on his plant pot or something like that, and in there he had no plants, and there were only just one seed. The king did not saw him at first, but as the king hired, looked at his empty pot and there was no plants. Even though he tried to grow a plant, there was nothing, and there was only a seed. A seed was in that pot, and in that pot, and the seed had nothing. the judges did not knew about the king's trick, so they voted him out. The king was high up on his castle looking from his veranda, and as he looked from his veranda he saw only one boy without any plan, and it was that boy who the judges voted out because of having no plans. And so the king told his minister to go ahead and ask that boy what is wrong with his plan. So the minister quickly ran towards that boy as fast as he could, and as he ran towards that boy, he passed the boy. Then he came back and asked him what was wrong with his plant, and the boy told him that he took very much care of it, but that plant never grew out of it, and he was very sad about it, but he tried his best. The minister was quite angry, but still kept him around. If the king had something to do with them who did not have any plans. So the minister went back to the king and told him that the boy tried to grow a tree, but there wasn't any luck of him, so he failed this challenge. So the king told the minister to keep an eye on him, and when finally the judgment of all of those trees had finally finished, the king told that boy to come here who did not have any plant in his plant pot. Everybody was laughing at him because he did not have any plant pot, but he stood brave and told the king about his situation. And he was very scared of the king because he thought that he will be hanged or something like that, and he will get a death row or something like that because of annoying the king. But he was very much surprised when he learned about the king's trick. The king gathered all of his people of his kingdom and told them to come here in his castle and come to his castle's front yard, and where he had to make an emergency announcement, and the announcement was about his trick. And he told all of his people that all of the seeds that he gave to those people were boiled, and to those people who had trees, they could not have any trees because the seeds were boiled, and so they have cheated. And there was only one person who does not have any plants on their plant pot, and I know that he is honest because his seed was also boiled, as I know, and there was nothing wrong with him. He tried his best, and as he tried his best, he could not find any luck, but I will find him some luck, and today he will hold my heritage. Everyone was surprised by his trick, but they all accepted the new king because of his honesty. And the boy was also surprised, but he was honest forever after on. The king lived on to be one of the smartest king, and his heritage, that one boy, also lived on to be one of the smartest king, and both of them became the best of friends, the king and that boy. So this is the end of our video of a wise king and a wise heritage. So this is the end of our video. So tata and goodbye. See you tomorrow.